Okay then peeps, as you can see, probably here, I'm back at the roof vent, playing with the speed controls, because I'm a bit of a tart and I like that sort of rubbish. I've decided I'm going to put the controls over there. The cooker's going to be going right there, next to the door. So I'm going to have the speed controls for this fan there, and the speed controls for the other fan will be going down somewhere on that cabinet where the bed's going to be. Rather than operate them locally, I've decided to trace the wires back. So what I did was I pulled the entire loom out. Let's just get the legs out for my new tripod. A new tripod that doesn't want to point down. So as you can see, ish, I'm really bad with tripod. As you can see, I've pulled the loom out, cut a few strands of the cable, separated the wires using my amp clamp, which I found in the scrap about 2 weeks back. And then using my amp clamp that I found in the scrap a few weeks back, tested all the wires till I found a red wire, of which there's about 30, that's actually drawing some power. Stripped it using my wire strippers that I also got in the scrap 3 weeks ago. Got it back, tested it. As you can see, it's live. Let's see if I can get that to rest there, shall we? Just to prove it to you, because there's bound to be some naysayers out there, that wire is in fact live. Turn off the roof fan, that wire's no longer live. Turn on the roof fan, that wire's live. That wire is the live that feeds up for the fan. And now all I've got to do is trace it all the way up there, up into, ouch, screws, up into what I call the disco cupboard. What the hell is that doing in there? Up into here, into this main loom, where I will find that red wire again. I will break into it, I'll branch it off, and I will tap it into this switch up here. All I've got to do now is check it hasn't got a separate switched earth as well. It's not a common earth. You can never tell with these converters whether they've used all separate earths or whether that just goes to one earthing point up behind the cab or down in the cab. I've got to check that out. There's not many black wires running through that part of the loom, but while the fan's running I'm going to get the amp clamp on it and see if I can find an earth that's not carrying something, or whether it's just commoned up here to the frame. That I'm not sure about. One plus point is, I was checking out this back wall and I thought that this beam here ran all the way across the back of the cab. It doesn't. It stops right here at this frame, which goes up, provides a roll hoop, and comes down the other side behind the passenger seat. All this section of wall here is just plastic. So I can cut myself out a nice little, and I mean a little pass through into the cab. It's only going to be for emergencies, just so I can get into the cab to drive off just in case. You never know. When you're parked up wild camping, you never know what's going to happen. Anyway, that's where I am so far. I'm going to get back to doing some wiring and sweating my man boobs off in the back of this van. It's about 1,000,000 degrees at the moment. Feels like Ming the Merciless is attacking my camper van personally. Right, so back to the wiring, and I'm going to trace that red wire further up there into the loom. I'm going to repair the little section down there. Well, actually I'm going to leave that section down there because I'll be cutting it down there at some point and then running it off through the wall into the fuse box for my leisure batteries, which will be, where are my leisure batteries? Let me see. That's the inlet. My leisure batteries will be right there under the floor, right below the 240 volt inlet. That's where the leisure battery box is. The same box as where the diesel heater is, under that floor there. So I shall cut that wire in further under into the cab, and that'll give me just enough slack to run it straight down into the fuse box. If not, I'll just extend it, it's not really a problem. Anyway, see you in a bit, peeps. Okay peeps, right, got into the cupboard, found the live, split it and crimped it back together for later use, because problem numero uno, number one, I can only find a live in here for the motor, and I need to find a live and an earth, not just any earth point, it's got to be the actual earth wire that runs to that motor, so I can swap directions. So I found the live using the amp clamp, but the earth is a common earth, and what I've now got to do is look about and see if I can find the common earthing point, take all the wires off of it, and then see if I can find the actual earth that goes to this actual motor in this plug here. Otherwise I can't reverse the motor. What that will mean is that I will have to put the switches up here. At the moment I've got the diffuser off and the little direction vents, because I want to paint this. Not sure what colour I'm going to paint it. I'm also playing with a couple of drawer fronts. I'm not sure what you think of that. Ignore the air bubbles. It's cheap vinyl, it's really hard to work with. It stretches at the merest hint. If you do it in the cold, which I've tried before, the glue doesn't stick. If you do it in the warm like it is today, the glue sticks lovely, but the vinyl's so thin and so cheap that it stretches. What do you think, folks? Black, silver and grey. I'm going for the utilitarian look, not for the fancy schmancy camper look. Definitely not the beige 70s 80s look. I quite like it. I'm going to get some other vinyl, try a few other different doors, see what they look like. I might go for a slightly bluer just so I can mix it up a bit, but we'll see how that goes. Other than that, all I've done for the past couple of hours is trace that wiring. My boy popped out to see me. He works next door in the warehouse where my van's parked at the moment until DVLA go back to work and sort my tax out. He popped in to talk to me, so I turned the roof vent down using the little adjuster knob. I turned it down so I could talk to him. Then I spent half an hour looking for the live wire in there. Of course, I turned the fan down so it was using less power. And this amp clamp that I'm using, although it's a fluke and really well made, not a fluke as in it's, you know, a bit of luck. Well, it was a bit of luck because I found it. Although it's a fluke, it constantly reads 1 amp because it's not meant to read DC really. It will read it, it will read DC like that fan, it will read it as 0.2, 0.3. But because I turned the fan down, it was reading every wire at 0.1, including the one that actually was taking 0.1 of an amp, or whatever it was taking. As I say, this is an AC amp clamp, it doesn't really read DC that well. But it was the fan was going so slow that I couldn't get this meter to read it, so I spent half hour looking at that, looking for the wire, going through all the 15 different red wires that are in the loom before I thought myself, it's getting a bit hot in here, I'll turn the fan up. And then it clicked, I've turned the fan down, it's not drawing enough amps for the amp clamp to pick it up. Twat. Yeah, I said it for you folks. There you go. Anyway, that's where we are today. I've started to clean the vent diffuser up because I haven't got the screws to screw the roof panel up nice and flat to put the diffuser back on. I'll do that tomorrow. I'll pop to B&Q's and literally be in a queue for 3 hours waiting to get in just to buy a pack of screws. Let me know what you think on that cupboard front. I like it, and at the end of the day I'm not sure whether to go for a slightly bluer one just to mix the colours up a bit better. I may even turn some of these into drawers yet and get rid of the hinge doors, but they'll still have the locks on them. It goes well with the roller blind actually. I don't know, I'm just playing. I can't really do a lot to the van because it's parked in a car park half a mile away from me, and I have to tidy up every single night and put it all back together because I don't want people to look in and think it's dumped and start stripping bits off of it. So it makes it difficult to do work on it. When it's at home, it's literally 10 yards from my house and I've got a CCTV camera on it and I've got a Wi-Fi signal in it, so I can run my Neos cam in here. So that was a thumbs up to Gadget John. I bought myself a Neos cam, mate. Cheers, works lovely. At the moment, it's hanging out my bedroom window, keeping an eye on my son's motorbike that's in the back garden. Apart from that, the place is a mess. I'm about to tidy up. Got some nice storage boxes there. Found them while out for a mooch yesterday. Got 6 of those with lids. A couple of them are cracks, but they're only little star cracks in them. They'll do for now. I'll use them for tidying up some of the rubbish. Anyway, I'm going to have a tidy up. By the way, brake cleaner cleans everything up, not just brakes. It's pretty good stuff. You have to watch what you use it on. It's not too kind on certain rubbers, I believe, but it's good for cleaning up the greasy fingerprints off these plastic doors, so that I can stick vinyl to them. I tried sticking some vinyl with that, but the covers, it's too much of a complex shape. It's a compound curve. It curves in all directions, and by the time you stretch the vinyl, you start getting ridges in it. It's just not worth it. I'm just going to paint it. I'm probably going to paint it grey because the ceiling's white, the vents are black, so black, grey, white and silver. But we'll see. I'm definitely going to paint it because there's just too much white going on in the roof. I'm going to cover the roof eventually, probably in some grey carpet, maybe something along like what CJ used in his ambulance in Project Amber, like that fake Alcantara stuff. We'll see how it goes. I want to do things a bit different. I don't want to keep copying everybody, but when these people have the perfect idea, what are you going to do? You've got to copy them because you're never going to get a better idea yourself. Well, you know what I mean. I can have better ideas, but if they've already got the best, what's the point in doing it different and doing it worse just to be different? Anyway, peeps, I'm going to tidy up because the whole place is a complete and utter mess, and I'll catch you all later. Ta-ra, peeps.